Ṣé ìwọ nìkan ló wá àbáwọn tó kù sí wà bẹ́ẹ̀ kan? Ìwọ nìkan ni. Àwọn ọlọ́pàá ẹ̀dá. Wọ́n sì ń bí. Dídé sókè mi ti sọ̀rọ̀ tán.
Nǹkan tẹ́ bá fẹ́ máa ṣe fún. Gbogbo nǹkan tẹ́ bá ti fẹ́ máa ṣe fún.
Kọ́ńtráktọ̀ olóṣèlú ohun tó mèmí sí nìyẹn. Pòfẹ́sọ̀ onámọ̀wọ́ sí. Kí ló dé tó ń bá mi ju kọ́ńtráktọ̀ mi? Ó wá lọ gbàṣẹ́ mọ́ èmi lọ́wọ́. Kò ní dá fún ẹ. Kò ní yẹ. Wọ́n máa wá etí. Lẹ́mi. Ikú lè rí ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ o.
Welcome back to Naija Films Recap, the home where African cinema comes alive again. Today, we enter a story that blends the living and the spirit world, where desire collides with tradition, and every choice carries a price. This is not just a tale of love. It is a tale of betrayal, of gods defied, and of mortals who dared to take what was forbidden. In the world of Jigunay, rules are eternal. Love between spirits and men is a line never to be crossed. But Jagun, a man of ambition and cunning, dares to step across that line with Ota, a spirit maiden torn between duty and desire. That union sets off a chain of events that shakes both worlds and drags everyone, father, daughter, lover, and enemy, into a spiral of ruin. Stay with us as we unpack the final moments of this gripping tale and reveal how passion, greed, and betrayal seal the fate of Jagun and Ota. The story begins in Jigun Aye, a town shrouded in mystery. A priest introduces us to this strange place, a land that seems endless, a land no philosopher, spiritualist, or seer has ever been able to fully understand. What makes Jigun Aye unique is that its people do not die. They live, grow old, and when their time comes, they simply wander away, leaving no trace behind. At the heart of Jigun Aye is King Danladu, a ruler feared, respected, and adored. His power is legendary, so great that kings and leaders from across the world seek him out just to draw strength from his presence. Around him, strong guards stand as symbols of his might. But Jigun Aye is not only a kingdom of power, it is also home to Ararogun Market, a mystical bazaar where commerce never sleeps. Here, people from our world cross over to buy what no ordinary market can sell: fame, wealth, influence, even progress itself. The market leader knows every visitor's secret. Without a word, he reads their hearts, their problems, and directs them to merchants who can sell them exactly what they are missing. Then, the story shifts to Danladu's palace. His queen gives birth to a daughter, but dies in the process. Heartbroken, Danladu pours all his grief and devotion into the child. He takes her into his sacred chamber and invokes the power of his deities, making her as strong and gifted as he is. That child is named Ota, destined to become a force of her own. From Jigun Aye, the scene transitions into the land of the living, where we meet Jagun, a ruthless man played by Odunlade Adekola. Jagun is a rising political figure who commands fear with both his wealth and his brutality. Early on, he kidnaps a rival businessman, forcing him to abandon a lucrative contract. Jagun has no patience for opposition. He neutralizes threats before they can grow. But in the political arena, Jagun finds an even greater challenge. His rival, Honorable Adeniran, refuses to step down from power despite an earlier agreement. What begins as a heated argument in front of their party leader soon escalates into open hostility. Jagun plots Adeniran's death, sending his men to ambush him. Yet, Adeniran is no ordinary man. He possesses mystical powers, that make bullets useless against him. He turns Jagun's assassins into helpless captives with a mere gesture and then sends them back alive with a warning. Furious but also unsettled, Jagun realizes his rival is far more dangerous than he imagined. Later, Adeniran confronts Jagun directly. He scolds him for his betrayal, but chooses mercy, urging Jagun to follow the party leader's counsel for the sake of their shared political future. For a moment, it seems peace has returned. Meanwhile, back in Jigun Aye, Danladu's daughter Ota grows into a brave young warrior admired by all. Whispers in the palace suggest she may be developing a closeness with Atunda, one of the king's guards. The chiefs raise their concerns, but Danladu dismisses them, trusting Ota's judgment. The political story reconnects with Jigun Aye when Adeniran, seeking to secure Jagun's future, brings him before King Danladu. Adeniran presents Jagun as a brother and requests that the king fortify him with spiritual power. Danladu studies Jagun's heart and sees hypocrisy, vengeance, and betrayal. Adeniran admits this is true, but insists Jagun must still be helped. After some warning, Danladu agrees, declaring that if Jagun ever turns against them, he will be stripped of everything. Jagun is handed over to Ota, who begins his initiation. During their time together, Jagun is stunned to discover she speaks English and travels frequently to the human world. Their conversations reveal more mysteries about Jigun Aye and its connection to creation itself. But before Jagun can ask too many questions, Ota ends the discussion. It is time for the final round of empowerment, and King Danladu is already waiting. The empowerment of Jagun begins. In the sacred halls of Jigun Aye, King Danladu and his daughter Ota perform powerful rites over him. With chants echoing through the chamber and ancient spirits summoned, Jagun is transformed. When the ritual is complete, Danladu declares that Jagun is now as solid as an unbreakable rock, a man no force should be able to shatter. But he warns Jagun with deadly seriousness. If he ever betrays them, his life will be forfeit. Days pass, and Jagun begins to wield his newfound powers. When a business rival wins a contract over him, something mysterious happens. Instead of heading home, the rival unknowingly drives straight to Jagun's residence, confused and terrified at how he got there. Jagun steps out, mocking him. He reminds the man of their last clash, when the police were called on him, and coldly declares that betrayal comes with only one reward: death. With dark incantations, Jagun kills his rival, then makes both the man and his car vanish into thin air, relocating them far away with magic. His dominance is complete, but Jagun's hunger for power is not satisfied. He knows that Adeniran, his political rival, so he could easily expose his secrets and undermine him before the election. He cannot remain a pawn in someone else's game. He needs more. And so, he returns to Jigun Aye, seeking Ota once again. Their bond begins to grow in unexpected ways. Jagun flatters her, calling her world beautiful, but urging her to taste life in his. To him, Jigun Aye is a cage, and he tempts her with the freedom and pleasures of the human world. But his words stir trouble. The spirits of the air suddenly seize him, lifting him helplessly into the sky. Only Ota's desperate chants to the gods calm the storm and release him. Shaken, Jagun learns the danger of violating Jigunaye's customs. Ota reassures him, promising that though no one from her world is allowed to visit Earth except her and her father, she will one day come to see him. True to her word, Ota later appears in Jagun's world. Curious and eager, she lets his aides dress her in human fashion, placing a wig upon her bald head. For the first time, she admires herself in a mirror, marveling at her beauty. Jagun showers her with praise, assuring her that on earth no one can hide her glory, and she admits that the experiences she has had in his world are unlike anything in Jigunay. To her, earth feels exciting, even intoxicating. But just as she begins to settle in, a voice calls to her, her father's. She explains to Jagun that a part of King Danladu lives within her, and whenever he summons her, she feels it instantly. She disappears, leaving Jagun seething with frustration. Back in Jigun Aye, Danladu confronts his daughter. He demands to know why she went to Earth without permission. When she admits she visited Jagun, Danladu presses further, asking what truly binds them. Defensively, Ota denies any romantic involvement, but her father sees the truth in her eyes. He asks her if what he senses is love. From that moment, he forbids her from visiting Earth again unless he sends her. Despite her father's warnings, Ota confides in Atunda, her close friend, that she cannot let go of the human world. Atunda cautions her about Earth's people, reminding her of their greed, treachery, and cruelty. But Ota brushes aside the warnings, insisting she knows how to handle herself. Soon after, she makes another bold choice, blocking all mystical channels that allow her father to summon her. Ota reappears in Jagun's home. This time, she tells him she has come to stay longer, free from Danladu's reach. Jagun can barely contain his joy. He embraces her, ready to show her all that Earth has to offer. But in Jigun Aye, disaster strikes. Thunder rumbles across the kingdom. The skies turn violent, and panic spreads among the people. Danladu, sensing the disturbance, begins to chant powerful incantations to uncover its source. His vision reveals a face, the face of his daughter. The chaos that now grips Jigun Aye is tied directly to Ota's forbidden journey to Earth. After Jagun lures Ota completely into his world, their relationship crosses the ultimate line. They sleep together, and for the first time, Ota feels like she belongs to someone outside her people. But the moment passes quickly. Reality crashes in. She has broken a sacred law. For the spirits of Jigun Aye, intimacy with a human is forbidden, and the punishment is eternal disgrace. Jagun brushes aside her fears, saying tradition is nothing but chains meant to keep her from happiness. He convinces her that love is worth any risk. Ota wants to believe him, but deep down, she knows the weight of the crime she has committed. Far away, her father Danladu senses the violation. The bond between father and daughter tells him something is terribly wrong. He calls for her, demanding she return, but Ota refuses. She defies him openly, declaring that the pleasures of earth are greater than the restrictions of her people. To strike an even heavier blow, she reveals she is pregnant for Jagun. Danladu is shattered. Not only has his daughter betrayed her kind, she has bound herself to the enemy. Meanwhile, Jagun becomes restless. He remembers Danladu's warning. Betrayal will lead to death. And now, by taking Ota as his own, he has brought the curse upon himself. Pretending to be resigned, he begins plotting. He manipulates Ota with sweet words and false promises until, in a moment of weakness, she transfers her powers to him while he sleeps. Ota believes she is protecting the man she loves. In truth, she has just armed him with the strength of the gods. When Danladu storms Jagun's home to confront him, he finds his powers useless. Jagun now stands unshaken, boasting that he has used wisdom and cunning to twisted destiny itself. Danladu is humiliated and retreats in shame, realizing his daughter's defiance has turned their gifts into a weapon against them. But soon Ota learns Jagun's true heart. He was never hers. He still has his wife, his children, and no intention of keeping her. To him, Ota was only a tool, a means to power. Betrayed, broken, and tortured by his men, Ota dies. Her body may fall, but her spirit is dragged back to Jigun Aye. There, she is met not with mercy, but with judgment. The elders condemn her to wander for eternity, forever restless, forever punished for loving a mortal. Danladu, devastated by his people's cruelty, turns against them. In despair, he strips Jagun of the powers Ota gave him and denounces his own kin. His grief is so deep that the earth itself swallows him. Jagun, left powerless and exposed, falls into ruin. Ota is lost, Danladu is gone, and Jagun is destroyed by his own greed. In the end, the story closes as a warning. Forbidden love cost Ota her life, betrayal consumed Jagun, and even the mighty Danladu could not escape tragedy. This is the final chapter of their tale. A story of passion, deceit, and the unforgiving weight of destiny. Told here on Naija Films Recap. And that is how their story ends. Not with joy, but with destruction. Ota loses everything for love. Jagun, driven by greed, gains power only to fall harder than he ever imagined. Danladu, the father who tried to hold the line, is broken beyond repair. The lesson is clear. Some boundaries are not meant to be crossed, and when desire blinds reason, the cost can be eternal. Jagun thought he was wiser than the gods. Ota thought love could rewrite destiny. Both were wrong. Thank you for watching Naija Films Recap. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share so more people can relive the best of African cinema with us. Until next time, remember, every film carries a warning, and every story leaves a scar.